I think we're ready. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, let's get started. So, to the viewers and the listeners, welcome to the Just In podcast. My name is Justin Lee. I'm the Managing Director of Obscure Technologies. I'm joined today by Sama on my left. Sama, welcome.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good to have you in SA.
It's a pleasure to be here.
I hope you have had a very busy trip.
Yes,
Successful.
busy. It's a busy week. Very
Yeah.
successful. Thanks to all the partners and the distributors in the region. It's good to be here. I think it's my trip after COVID, first trip, and definitely it is exciting time.
I think a lot has changed since COVID.
Yes,
Before
indeed.
COVID, after COVID. Thank goodness COVID is relatively gone.
Hopefully it stays that way.
I hope so too.
Yes.
Let's see what happens in the future. So, Sam, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions today as part of our video podcast series, the first video podcast series. So we're very excited to have you. And I'm going to get straight into the questions.
It's a pleasure. Let's
So-
get the ball rolling.
Good. So, Sam,
Yeah.
how has the cybersecurity market evolved in the eyes of Palo Alto?
Good question. So, if we look at the impact of the pandemic had on the transformation from customers to a more of a, or less a hybrid and work environment, which, by the way, looks like it's gonna to stay with us for a long time.
Agreed.
Yes, we have a little bit of people coming back into offices, but hybrid work is there. And on top of that, there has been the cloud transformation journey for customers that got accelerated also, luckily or not, by the pandemic, which made people move faster their workloads into the cloud. So what that means, it means it's a bigger attack surface for these customers. And with Palo Alto Networks, we believe that traditional security measures that employ signature-based solutions are not going to be able to scale against the sheer volume of attack when you have employees working from multiple locations and trying to access data all around the world and apps. So we see that 100% in the near future, and starting from today, we provide that. AI and machine learning are going to be key components on how we can help customers defend against this widened security attack posture. And with that, these kind of solutions that we are providing will help customers scale against the sheer volume of attacks and at the same time get them to focus on the priority issues that they have at hand. So it's a matter of scaling. It's a matter of actually having the capability to have some automation on your network that's going to be responding to a lot of the security attacks, filtering the ones that are irrelevant for you and putting you in the right focus and your SOC team from our customers on the attacks that need to be addressed. On top, we do advise customers still to make sure that they provide access that's authenticated with the least privilege to the right set of resources, and that's continuously monitored. At Palo Alto Networks, we follow a zero trust approach. So basically, whether you're inside or outside the corporate, we treat you the same in terms of access to security. And with this, what this will help, it's gonna make it extremely cost prohibitive for the bad actors to carry successful attacks against organizations. So on top of the tools, it's these kinds of measures with authentication, whether on the endpoint or the cloud or the network, will help reduce that attack surface and help those customers minimize the exposure that they have.
Yeah, I think it's a good point that you make on COVID actually accelerating the requirements for security.
Yeah.
I mean, we've certainly seen that. COVID started, we had accelerated budgets, and I think we've got the world used to a new norm from a accessibility perspective, accessing resources, and I like what you said. The hybrid model is here to stay.
Yeah.
I think also enterprise customers and customers in general are going to explore that hybrid work model even further. It gives them more flexibility. Yeah,
That's true.
Very good answer. Thanks, Sama. What's the priorities for Palo Alto in region for the next 12 months?
Okay. I'll talk about the ecosystem
Yes, please.
priorities as I run the ecosystem in emerging markets. So basically, what we would want our partners to focus on is, first of all, we're going to be focusing with the partners and our distributors, our GSIs, on making sure they are properly enabled. We have now a broad portfolio across the three pillars that we work on, whether on network security or cloud security and SOC operations and automation. Enablement is top of mind for me, for the partners in the region. And we're going to work with with our distributors, also part of that, to upskill you guys and help us upskill the partner community in the region. So enablement is top of mind. Second, portfolio selling. And for that, partners need to be able to specialize. So with Next Wave 3.0 program, we actually introduced multiple specializations. There's more to come. Hopefully soon we'll be able to share some of the enhancements that we're bringing to the market with Next Wave 4.0. And by the way, Next Wave, for the partners listening, for 11 years, it has a 5.0 score, which is the highest score, 5-star score on CRN as a partner program. So enablement, as I said, as first, specialization. And for me in the region, I'm working closely with the team to make sure that the partners in these tough economic situations continue to have profitability. How we can be more profitable by differentiating and specializing in the market. And this is what we'll provide the partners in FY23.
Cool. I was going to ask actually on the next question, what's going to be the priorities for partners moving forward into FY23 and beyond. And I think the priority for partners is to further expand, gain the experience, invest in the skills, invest in the enablement, because the portfolio is getting bigger. It's not a small portfolio anymore. It's not just the next gen firewalls of 4 years ago when Obscure's been doing this for 6 years.
You were with us from the start.
Absolutely,
Yes, exactly.
From the start in region. And we've certainly seen the portfolio expand. So from our perspective, it's very important that the partner landscape educates themselves in the various offerings that Palo Alto has.
Yeah.
I believe, and I'm sure you believe, that by educating themselves, they're going to open up other key areas of business that's going to be beneficial to them.
100%. And that's why you see as I said, from Next Wave 3.0, specialization. And specialization, what does it mean? It means you are enabled on a certain technology, whether we're talking on Prisma Cloud, we're talking about Cortex, we're talking about SASE, which is a hot topic, as you can imagine. We've been pushing that messaging with you guys. And all of these require that we have skill set. Okay. And cybersecurity market skill set is scarce. So partners really need to keep up leveling their team, making sure that they can serve the customers in the region. Okay. And that's part of the priorities that we work together to address.
Brilliant. Sam, just on the specializations, will a partner be able to specialize in a key vertical, if we call it that, within the Next Wave 3.0? Or will you need core and then specific specializations that latch onto core, for example?
So not vertical, but it's platform pillars. Okay. So you can get specializations currently on Prisma Cloud, you can get specializations on SASE, and you can get specializations on Cortex. More to come. Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't yet disclose that, but more to come. Watch the space.
Watch the space. I like that. Sama, over the last, let's call it 5 years, there's been quite a aggressive acquisition take from Palo Alto. In the last 2 years, we've seen that accelerate. I think we're on about vendor number 6 at the moment that Palo Alto has gobbled up. What we have seen in the last only 3 or 4 months is we've done the acquisition of Cider, you've done Aparo, and you've done Sanifa. Yeah. Can you share a little bit more on what you believe the strategy is to be? Is that to bolster the Prisma Cloud, Prisma Access? I mean, there must be some rationale from a Palo Alto perspective for the acquisitions.
Yeah. Good question there. Let me start by saying I can't comment on the future. Yeah. Right? There's a lot of things that could be happening at the exec level in the company deciding what additional acquisition. But looking at historically the past period, a lot of these acquisitions have been around Prisma Cloud. And that's by design to a big extent. The reason is as customers transform into the cloud, most of the enterprises that we talk to have at least 30 different vendors on their network infrastructure from a security perspective. And that has been traditionally a challenge from skill set, from an OPEX, CAPEX, you name it, and making sure that you're actually benefiting out of these different tools that you have in your network. So we want to make the journey on the cloud, security for code to cloud, as we'd like to call it, much more smooth. And you've seen Prisma Cloud capabilities, really it's the most comprehensive end-to-end platform. And these acquisitions have helped Palo Alto be able to see what our customers need now and in the future for the cloud security, and we're building it all into Prisma Cloud. You can get a single platform that's able to address the majority of your security concerns on the cloud. Really the most comprehensive platform.
Brilliant. So I think this leads to one of the questions that we wanted to ask.
Yes.
Which is SASE.
Oh, SASE. That's a SASE discussion.
That's a SASE sexy discussion, right? What is the Palo Alto take on the SASE play? I mean, I'll speak openly. We recently in Dubai.
Yeah.
I saw you on stage, and you had quite a bit to say about SASE and the strategy moving forward, specifically around SASE.
Yes. So a lot of organizations are going through a transformation, right, on their digital transformation journey. And not only us, not only Palo Alto Networks, if you talk to industry analysts, you will see that the SASE market, and by the way, that's a collapsed market of SSE, right,
yep.
and SD-WAN together. So it's collapsing the WAN and the security services into a single platform that is cloud delivered. That market is going to grow significantly, and that's why we've been pushing with our partners and distributors. We've been talking to you guys, I think more than any time before, about the importance of pushing the SASE measures to customers, helping them into selecting the best of breed platform that can really take that journey further. We've announced recently the ZTNA 2.0 architecture, which basically means that we've seen the Zero Trust Network Access version 1.0 solutions, and they lack a lot compared to what customers' expectations are. What we want to see with ZTNA 2.0 is continuous trust verification. So not just when you knock on the door, you want to access the office here.
Yeah.
We're going to say, oh, this is Justin, but Justin actually comes in and starts doing things that he's not supposed to do in the office. So ZTNA 2.0 means we're going to deliver continuous trust verification, continuous security check, right, for the individual or the resources that's being accessed, continuous security inspection on what is that user doing on the network or on the cloud or whatever he's trying to access from, and making sure the data is secure across all applications. So really, it's zero trust without compromise. So this is what we're trying to achieve with ZTNA 2.0 and with our SASE platform.
Brilliant. You touched on SD-WAN.
Yeah.
Now, I think for some of the listeners and viewers, I think very little people know about the CloudGenix acquisition that was done, I think, about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've
around that time frame.
Yeah,
Yes.
we've seen an uptake in the CloudGenix platform as obviously part of the SD-WAN offering inside the SASE play. Is it a highly competitive product in the market?
So SD-WAN is an actually crowded space, but if you look at CloudGenix, which we call now Prisma SD-WAN,
yes,
for our viewers and listeners, it's really unique in terms of being completely on layer 7 application analysis and routing. So it's way more advanced. It can be cloud delivered, can be on an appliance based, on the branches, but it's really the level of access and visibility that you get with Prisma SD-WAN is second to none. So that is part of our SASE story. That's the foundation.
Good.
But usually some customers start with SD-WAN and then they go with Prisma Access full stack, or some of them, which are embarking on the journey now, start with it all together, right? They go for the full SASE stack.
Correct.
So that's based on the customer requirements.
Fantastic.
And that's what we advise partners to be able to differentiate themselves, understand that market, be able to position whether an SD-WAN or Prisma Access, the full SASE stack, and address the customer requirements in the big enterprise and mid-enterprise sector.
Good. I don't think we can end the Vodcast without mentioning Strata, right? It's still very much one of the biggest in the portfolio.
Of course.
We're still developing.
Of course.
It's still market leading.
So the next gen firewall is what started Palo Alto Networks, right?
Yes.
And that's a market that's going to continue to grow. There's no pause yet on that market. But SASE is actually built on a lot of the technologies that we have on the next gen firewall platform. And this is going to be augmenting that, right? And customers might decide to bit by bit move into a full SASE solution, but the next gen firewall market is there to stay. However, the growth for the partners listening and our customers is going to come much faster also on the SASE adoption. Like we've seen in the times where we moved from traditional firewalls to next-gen firewalls, SASE market is going to grow, is going to grow as per analysts in the next 3 years at a faster rate than the next-gen firewall market.
Yes.
But the next-gen firewall market is huge. That's and this is our sweet spot. So
absolutely, yeah, world class. I think on the firewall side or the Strata side, it is very important to mention what the advances there in the virtual space, because traditional firewalls are on-prem. I think the way Palo has done their modeling around the licensing is key, and it addresses a lot of different markets, especially in the service provider space where you've got the flexible billing options. Yeah. So very good.
It's the billing and it's the availability, right? When COVID hit, you had organizations coming to us. They have thousands of employees that they all of a sudden want to provide remote access, right? If you want to start deploying physical firewalls, it will have taken you a long time ordering those and making sure you deploy them, install them, etc. With Prisma Access, you basically can enable the subscription in a matter of hours, right? And then start the ball rolling, start providing access.
Good. Thanks, Sama. Sama, last question.
Yes.
Before we end, what can the market expect from Palo Alto Networks?
So, amid a time or current situation where we have geopolitical instabilities, we have economical instabilities, we see for customers they need a very strong cybersecurity partner to be with them. And at Palo Alto Networks, we believe we're going to continue to deliver what's next, right? We've done that with ZTNA 2.0, and we're going to continue across all the pillars of our solutions. As I said, whether on Prisma Cloud and with the cloud security, whether on network security with SASE and Strata, whether on Cortex with the SOC automation and SOC operations. Across the board, we're going to deliver what's next to help those customers through a seamless journey, most importantly with a fast path to value.
Yes.
So it's not only seamless, but it really takes them through a fast path to value. And hopefully working together, we can achieve that in the region. I look forward to be more often here. I enjoyed the Vodcast, Justin.
Yeah, cool.
And I like the name, by the way, the Justin Vodcast.
It was marketing's idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Good.
Thanks for hosting me. And
Pleasure.
I look forward to be with you guys more often.
I think, Sama, on behalf of Obscure and the market, thank you for your investment. Palo has invested heavily in terms of staff and resources, the engineering teams that you have on the ground, the professional services teams that you put into region. So from our side, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the trip in South Africa.
Thank you.
And thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.